So, moving to Raleigh, North Carolina, or moving to Raleigh, maybe Raleigh versus Durham, how about we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to both Raleigh and Durham. Stay with me. And welcome back. In today's video, I am going to walk you through some of the really cool stuff about Raleigh and Durham, and then some of the not so cool stuff that's been happening here lately, especially after COVID. So if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about relocating to the Raleigh area or to the Durham area, definitely subscribe and click the bell button for notifications so you can be the first one to learn everything there is to know about living here. My name is Yoana, by the way, and I am a real estate broker here in the Raleigh area. I've been serving the Greater Triangle area for 10 plus years, helped hundreds of people with their relocation needs, so I'm more than happy to help. All right, so let's dive straight into the groove. Look at this. Look how cool this is. By the way, this is something so common to Raleigh and the surrounding areas. I am here at Lake Pine, actually. I am in Cary while I'm recording this, but this is very typical. So one of the big pros, and I'm gonna start with that, is that both Raleigh and Durham are surrounded by big lakes and a lot of cool stuff, and so that is something that nobody's ever going to take away from this area, which is a big plus. There's been a tremendous growth in both Raleigh and Durham. Now, Raleigh is at around 482,000 or so, while Durham is definitely smaller, so 292 or so, which is significantly smaller. They are definitely very close to each other, so if you're in downtown Raleigh, it's going to take you about 25 minutes or so to drive to Durham, which is super accessible and super doable, depending, of course, of what area you're coming from and how do you feel about traffic. But definitely a great thing to know that they are very close by, so you can access both if you are considering driving to work or maybe taking your child to school and so on. So why is this area growing so fast, and why are people actually moving to Raleigh or to Durham? Well, there's a lot of job opportunities, and not only that, but Raleigh has ranked over and over again as #1 place to live. This year, #1 best real estate actually city in the United States. Also, I think it was the 3rd or the 4th place for the first-time home buyer, which is absolutely huge. You have potential jobs, you have a pretty affordable salary, you are going to be able to get some land, some backyard for your pets, so there's definitely a lot of stability. Also, you're very close to the beach, you're close to the mountains, so there's a lot of opportunity in growth here, whether you're coming by yourself or you're coming with your family. Housing and property taxes. When it comes to housing, Raleigh has a higher median home value than Durham. Of course, this data comes straight from the MLS. Actually, Raleigh's median home value is about $410,000, while Durham is about $372,000. So we're looking at everything, of course. There are very expensive homes and also less expensive homes that if you are a first-time home buyer, you can definitely go for. So you can most probably find, let's say, a townhome at $325,000, $400,000 in both Raleigh and Durham, while you can also find $1 million homes, right, in both of these locations. But overall, the median price looks actually very good on a national scale. What happens to property taxes? You can just say, I like to tell my clients, just go for an average of 1%. It's actually 0.96% property tax for the Raleigh area, and fairly close to Wake County, and you're about 1.2 something for Durham, so a little bit higher there. So definitely think of that, take that in consideration if you are considering buying a house either in Raleigh or in Durham. What is actually happening with home pricing for detached homes and attached homes in Raleigh and Durham. So at the time of me recording this video, the average sales price for a detached home is around $556,700 for Raleigh, and also for an attached home in Raleigh about $354,000, while in Durham the average sales price for a detached home is around $411,000, while the average sales price for an attached home is somewhere around $375,000. So definitely good pricing. The market is competitive. We are right now in March to 2023, and the market has come back like crazy. We definitely see multiple offers, you guys, not only in the $300,000-500,000 price point, but also in the $1 million plus price point, because people have realized that with all the jobs and with everything that's happening in Raleigh, in Durham, in the Greater Triangle area, people just want to come here, and they realize that the rates are never going to be where they were. I mean, never say never, but hopefully there's not going to be another COVID, and things are just starting to level up. And because of the jobs, people are coming, they're relocating, all these big companies coming, bringing their employees. So definitely buy a house while you can, and do not wait for a collapse that, in my opinion, might not really come anytime soon for the Greater Triangle area. So let's talk a little bit about the crime rate. I have some very interesting stats for you. So according to Neighborhood Scout, Raleigh has actually a higher crime rate than the national average, with a chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime at 1 in 37. Okay, violent crime occurs at a rate of 5 per 1,000 inhabitants, while the property crime rate is 22 per 1,000 population. Now, Durham, on the other hand, has one of the highest crime rates in America, with a crime rate of 42 per 1,000 residents and a chance of becoming a victim of either violent or property crime at 1 in 24. I mean, with an area that is growing so fast and so much, it is expected to actually see higher crime rates. I mean, do we feel safe? Absolutely. We've lived here since 2011, and you know, there's kids here, there's kids everywhere. We walk the streets of Durham, of Cary, of Raleigh, Apex, Holly Springs, and we have never ever felt unsafe. Now, you know, burglary, let's just say a lot of unfortunately high schoolers breaking into cars. Yes, we've heard of these incidents, so we've heard about it, right? And there are some crimes that are happening all over the US and internationally, unfortunately, in schools, shootings and such. But overall, to be honest, we have never felt unsafe since we moved here from Los Angeles, California. All right, so let's talk about schools. Both Raleigh and Durham have great public schools. However, according to NISH, Raleigh ranked at an A-, while Durham ranked at a B+. Now, by no means am I an expert in school, and by no means am I personally saying that the Durham schools are not good. It is just this opinion, right? So including NISH, they are all saying that Durham schools are not as excellent as Raleigh schools. Now, of course, Raleigh is significantly bigger, and so I'm not really sure whether or not it is good to consider or how exactly are they calculating this based on test scores. But I know for a fact that there are plenty of magnet schools, charter schools, Montessori schools, also great private schools. However, here we're talking just about the general opinion on public schools, so that is not something that I fear as a mother, and I don't think you should fear either. Also, of course, we have the universities, which everybody knows. We have Duke University, we have NC State, then I'm not even going to Chapel Hill, which by the way has amazing schools as well, both elementary, middle, high school as well. But overall, this area is well known for the great schools that it has to offer. So now you're wondering, how about jobs? What's happening in Raleigh with the jobs? Well, it is very diverse for sure. It does have a diverse economy with a wide range of industries, as most of you know: technology, healthcare, education. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, actually, Raleigh's unemployment rate in December 2021 was 3.8%, while Durham's was 4.3%. I do not have the actual data for 2023 yet, but these are really good numbers. However, Durham is home to the Research Triangle Park, which is a hub for science and technology companies. The park is home to over 200 companies, including IBM, Cisco, and GlaxoSmithKline. So that is huge, you guys. A lot of people are coming here. We have the international airport, all these companies, biotech, great universities. So people are definitely excited about what the Raleigh and the Durham area has to offer when it comes to jobs and salaries. How about parks? I mean, Raleigh has over 200 parks, and as I stated in the beginning, there's a lot of lakes, really cool parks. While Durham doesn't have quite as many parks, it does have the Sarah Duke Gardens, also the Duke Forest. So, you know, parks are everywhere. I'm not even going to go there. I think I'm going to just do another video all related to parks because they're huge, they're beautiful, there's a lot of lakes, there's a lot of playgrounds, and so yes, I'm going to touch on this just in a little bit. So museums, if you are looking for cultural activities, both cities have excellent museum. Raleigh has the North Carolina Museum of Art, the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences, and the Marbles Kids Museum. Also, Durham is very well known for the National Museum of Art, the Museum of Life and Science. There's plenty of museums, and some of them are free. I mean, to go to the Museum of Art for free, to just roam around and see all this beautiful art, it is a blessing. So definitely come to Raleigh and to Durham for all of the cultural activities that both places have to offer. And kind of leading me to things to do with children. So speaking of museums and all the awesome things that you can do, both cities do offer plenty of activities. Raleigh has the Pullen Park Amusement Park and the Marbles Kids Museum, while Durham has the Museum of Life and Science, the Duke Lemmer Center. So, you know, kind of combined with all of the other parks, there's definitely plenty, and more than, I guess, more of the states in America actually have to offer. Now, things that you can do with your pets. If you are a pet owner, Raleigh and Durham have plenty of dog parks and greenways. Raleigh has the popular Millbrook Dog Park and the Neuse River Greenway, while Durham has the Piney Wood Dog Park and the American Tobacco Trail. I am just scratching the surface here for all of you guys that are in love with your pets, which we all are. Who isn't? And again, that has been one of the biggest driving factors for people to relocate to the Raleigh and Durham area. They can actually come and enjoy a hike around a park or around a lake like this one for a couple of miles in the middle of the day and walk their dogs, take their dogs, their pets to work, and just bring them out and walk them, which is super nice, right? They're not just left alone all day by themselves. I think it makes a big difference in their lives. So definitely an awesome place to live, both Durham and Raleigh, when it comes to things to do with pets. Proximity to hospitals is the next thing on our list. Now, in terms of healthcare, I have to say that both Raleigh and Durham have amazing hospitals. Raleigh is home to WakeMed Health and Hospitals and Duke Raleigh Regional, while Durham has Duke University Hospital and Duke Regional Hospital. Now, WakeMed Children's is also an amazing place to be at, in a way, if you have an emergency. And as a parent, I can assure you, it is such a good thing to know that wherever you are in the Greater Triangle area, if your child has an emergency, you can actually get to WakeMed in no time. Also, UNC-REX is a really great place to be. I keep on saying really great place to be, but I mean, they're awesome hospitals, right? And people often, like, some of our clients that have relocated here have put being close to hospital as a major thing on their list, right? They want to be within max 20 minutes distance, which really gives them a lot of options. Whether you're in Raleigh or in Durham or any of the suburbs, you are going to be driving to the hospitals and getting there in no time, which is key to living in the Raleigh area. So it's getting late and I am getting just a little bit hungry, and it's time for us to talk about the food scene in Raleigh and Durham, which is spectacular. Plenty of food options, right? So it's not only barbecue, but there's seafood, there's Italian, there's a lot of bakeries, there's a lot of diversity, which is absolutely key, right? Because there's people coming here from all over the world. So you want to have Mexican, you want to have Chinese, you want to have Thai, you want to have a great sushi, you want to have a pho, you want to have a barbecue, you want to have great Italian pizza and all of that. I mean, it is packed. And by the way, we have received several awards, as in me. Both Raleigh and Durham actually received several 𝐃𝐨𝐬𝐵 nominations, like several restaurants that have received that nomination. So it is absolutely important to realize that not only can you get a lot of groceries from diverse in unique grocery stores, but also you can go to restaurants that are really cool. And if you are vegan, which is something that, by the way, I wasn't aware of because I'm not vegan, but I love vegetables and I could be vegan, this is one of the best places to be in the country. I'm not sure if you guys realize that. So don't be worried when it comes to food, and don't be scared that you're not going to have the variety of foods that you might be longing for, because there's so much happening here. Alright, so what is happening here when it comes to entertainment options? That was such a big question for us relocating from Los Angeles. We're like, what is happening in the Raleigh area? Is there anything happening? Now, while you're not gonna have something to do quite every single night, right? So there's plenty of bars, but you might be missing a little bit more vibe. But let me tell you, Raleigh has a really bustling downtown with, there's a lot of bars, like I said, clubs, venues. You have also Red Hat Amphitheater, you have the Lincoln Theater, also Durham has the Durham Performing Arts Center and the Carolina Theater. Really, there's a lot of performances that are being offered there, from Broadway shows to live music. And so I wouldn't say that it is a place where nothing's happening, but in the same time, if you're used to New York or LA, this is not New York, LA. This is not Miami. This is getting close to being the second Silicon Valley, and there's a lot that is being built, and there's a lot happening. So I don't think that I'll be talking the same way in 5 years, so wait for it. So have you heard about the NC State Wolfpack? How about the Carolina Hurricanes? Yes, you have guessed it, we are talking about sports. A lot happening here, and you know, again, I'm just scratching the surface. Probably you've heard also about the Durham Bulls, the minor league baseball, and also about the Duke Blue Devils college sports team. But overall, there's a lot happening in soccer, and in the suburbs of Raleigh, we do have cricket coming up. We have some amazing things happening in the soccer world. So yeah, just scratching the surface here. But if you are into sports, just come here and enjoy nature, and you will see how much this place is growing. Also, if you're a golfer, you can definitely get a house here on a golf course and enjoy that. So we're not just talking about professional leagues, but we're talking about a wide variety of sports that you can actually do yourself outside, right? So I think it's important, because a lot of people, you know, sometimes only focus on going to a game. But how about the sports that you can do where you live, right? Because if you live in Toronto, if you live in New York, if you live in New Jersey, if you live wherever you live, Seattle, right? It could be cold for 6 months out of the year. So you yourself cannot actually play soccer, cannot play badminton, cannot play volleyball, you know, how about gymnastics? What can your children actually do and be outside? So I think that when it comes to sports, it's not only about these professional leagues and what does the Greater Triangle area have to offer. You know, it's not only the Hurricanes or the Wolfpack, but it's also sports that you you and your family can enjoy outside and inside. Alright, so what is the conclusion? The conclusion is this. The comparison is clear in my opinion, where Raleigh has a lower crime rate, also better public schools, right? We also have more diverse job opportunities, while Durham has a strong focus on science, on technology, more affordable housing market, and a thriving food scene. But ultimately, the choice between these two cities comes down to really personal preference and priorities. So I hope you enjoyed my video. For similar videos, or if you want me to do comparisons between Raleigh and other cities or other towns, suburbs, definitely let me know. We do post 2 to 3 videos every single week, and we will be posting more, so stay tuned and cheers till the next video.